What do you think about that moment of a system becoming super intelligent? Do you think you would know?
The current worries that I have are that there are going to be disinformation problems or economic shocks or something else at a level far beyond anything we're prepared for. And that doesn't require super intelligence. That doesn't require a super deep alignment problem and the machine waking up and trying to deceive us. And I don't think that gets enough attention.
This is Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. OpenAI is the company behind technologies like ChatGPT and DALL-E 2. In this clip, he acknowledged the fact that the tools his company has developed don't need any more refinement or advancement in order to have potentially profound impacts on the global economy, including potentially impacting the jobs of artists and writers. Artists and writers at companies like Marvel Entertainment. Artificial intelligence is a brand new topic. It's been popping up everywhere. Everyone's wondering what effect these tools will have on certain industries. Will there be mass layoffs? Will some artists be replaced by AI tools? Will products of large companies lose their human touch? This technology has the potential to empower artists and writers without completely replacing them. But corporations might be blinded with dollar signs in an attempt to replace instead of enhance. But surely they can't replace everything, right? Some aspects of creation are irreplaceable. I was fortunate enough to ask some of these questions to Douglas Wolk, author of all of the Marvels and reader of all 27,000 canon Marvel comics. He said what he values about comic books is that they are handmade, that he knows that there is someone behind the comic. He said he values the translation of personal problems to media creations. If AI tools took over the creation of comic media completely, we would lose the flaw of the human and how it is translated onto the page. This is not an uncommon response. Marvel artist Sean Chen had a similar thought process. This is what he says.
Talk right now about what it does to the art community. We've kind of been generating art in a traditional way for so long, and then this technology comes along, which they can kind of synthesize my entire 3 decades of artwork and kind of use that to kind of instantly make some artwork. But as far as I'm concerned, art is more about the process of generating ideas that have a purpose, and AI can kind of simulate that. So eventually there's still a human brain that needs to be involved to actually make the big moves, and then AI can kind of just show you a bunch of cool options that you can do with it. But seeing that that's coming down the pipe, this story kind of plays up on that.
Let's speculate for a moment that AI does aggressively take over the comic book industry and companies like Marvel only produce products made entirely by AI. I don't think it will be the end of Marvel. I think instead we would see a generational rift. I think we would see a situation where the younger generation who didn't get a chance to experience the human element behind comics wouldn't care that it was gone. They wouldn't know what they were missing out on. They would be content with valuing other aspects of comics. So I don't think companies who did this would crash and burn, but they would definitely isolate a large portion of their current audience and hurt themselves. Like Douglas Wolk pointed out, audience members form bonds through the human aspects that they convey through writing. Rapidly replacing everyone wouldn't be a good idea for those reasons. However, corporations might see it differently. They might be blinded by money. I mean, just look at the entire foundation of comic books in American history. The whole industry is modeled around recursive serialization and the constant output of new media in order to stay afloat. From the very start, the underlying reasons we have giants like Marvel Entertainment is because it is a for-profit industry and certain companies have perfected the process. You have to think, if Marvel can cut a significant portion of its costs and have a chance to grow its profit margin, it's undoubtedly going to try it. Marvel won't want to pay hundreds of artists and writers when it can get the same output with half the cost. As we see it now, AI can't replace everyone. But even the technology right now can set some people out of a job. Dave McKean, author, artist, and director, explains how this might work.
No reason why any art director or company would bother to ask an illustrator to make an image when they can just type a few words into AI and come up with perfectly reasonable, actually very sophisticated solutions to that problem, and an infinite amount of them. And they don't know what they want. They just want to see something and then they'll respond to it. So they're always now asking for 20, 30, 40 options. Well, now they can have an infinite amount of completely finished options. This is a marketing department's wet dream.
Just like Dave said, an artist may create 5, 10, or 20 different pieces of work around one idea in order to develop a director's vision. This work won't ever make it into a finished product, and that makes it a great candidate for the type of AI we're seeing currently. Feeding and slightly altering the same prompt an infinite amount of times in order to achieve a vision seems exactly what the current versions of AI would be useful for. Right now, we can only speculate on the future of AI tools and how they will affect certain industries. But at the pace it's accelerating, I don't see a future where a corporate entity like Marvel Entertainment decides to make less money in order to keep human employees and produce media at a slower, more expensive pace. I think that we'll probably see a fork get carved in the road of the comic media industry. One side that is made solely by humans, and the other side that takes advantage of AI technology. I think that the future of comic media creation will undoubtedly involve the assistance of artificial intelligent tools in one way or another. Humans might have to find other jobs, or be forced into new jobs. To sum up AI's potential in a short video like this is impossible, but hopefully I've answered some questions and raised a lot more. Hopefully our future with AI is not the apocalyptic, cyber warfare, human-dominating path that some may speculate, but it doesn't hurt to be cautious and raise all of the questions.
Human, get back to work.
I'll leave you with this clip from Dave McKean, and thank you for watching.
We're only becoming more and more individuated, and AI is going to massively accelerate that. So we are going to be a series of little isolated islands with our own little curated worlds of experience. This was my image in my book Prompt. A series of individuals on isolated islands throwing messages in a bottle in a sea of AI noise, in the vague hope that somebody else might see it. It's a very strange way of living your life.